Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Today, we're here to talk about Instagram versus reality and how it impacts Canadians and specifically first-time homebuyers and their buying decisions today. Andrew, let's get started with you. Does Instagram sell homes? And if so, what impact does it have on homebuyers?
I think Instagram helps sell homes. It sells the sizzle, but I think ultimately, at the end of the day, there's a lot more moving parts, and there's a lot more to it than just the sizzle, of course.
Right. But is it painting a good reality for these first-time homebuyers specifically?
No, I don't think so.
What do you mean?
I think Instagram and social media has a tendency to really make things look polished and shiny, and everything is great. But the reality of it is, we all know that it's not. But I think we get that dopamine effect when we are scrolling through Instagram. We get that effect, that fix, as we continue down that rabbit hole and that next reel. It just never ends.
Right.
So it's constantly feeding the beast. So I don't think it's a good thing.
So, Claudia, let me hear from you. You're an aspiring first-time homebuyer at some point. Do you agree with Andrew? Do you think that it's depicting a false reality?
I think so. I think there's a lot of misrepresentation on social media and Instagram specifically, because I feel like Instagram is kind of used to show pretty pictures and, oh, this house is aesthetic, and in my house I have all this furniture. I know I follow a lot of people or specific friends or just influencers who are a lot like that. And then some of them I've gone in person and it's nothing as it shows on social media.
Right. And that, I guess, can be discouraging, obviously, for someone like yourself to say, hey, like, how did that happen? How are they buying and I'm not buying, right?
Yeah, and I think the other part of it is that when I'm looking on social media, these people are buying homes my age or a little bit younger, and for reference, I'm 27. And I feel like I'm being left behind, and I'm seeing all these people be able to buy something and I can't, and I'm working so hard and it's just not happening for me. But I think what's left out is that people are in debt. They're buying their homes and they still have debt. They have school debt or any other type of debt, loans, or they're taking out a line of credit. So it is misrepresenting that these people are buying a home, but there's still money that they owe behind it.
Yeah, they're biting off perhaps more than they can chew. Michael, I'd love to hear from you. You've been in the industry for what, over 35 years now as a real estate agent? Yeah. So what's your take on this?
Well, I think of social media as having replaced print advertising. So, we used to spend a lot of money on print advertising. Now we spend a lot of money with social media people and I think there's always been false advertising. So you have, going way back, people distort or mislead people about locations in a print ad. Or when we started using photographs online, they use a wide angle lens. So when the people get there, it's a shoebox, but it looked like a ballroom. And that goes back to like the industry. That's an industry issue. And that's a very common, it's the ethics in the industry that or lack of ethics control in our industry. Brokers used to manage very small offices, like Royal LePage. When I started in Burlington, they had 5 offices in Burlington with 24 or 25 agents per office. So there was a manager watching people. Yes. Brokers today, they're landlords. They rent you space in their office. And people, unless there's a serious problem that the broker could get in trouble with, right, it's pretty well do whatever you like. And that's my view of it. And I think that the taking it up the next level, when somebody can get into trouble, advertising or any other sort of thing that people do that's like unethical or walks the fine line, the fines that RICO levies on people aren't big enough. So it's as an industry, how we control so that we're not misleading people. But you know, not to be on a soapbox, but it starts at the top. And if you look, does anybody believe anything the government tells you? Does anybody believe? So there's a trust issue we have, and it's well founded. So I'm 65, and I'm from the conspiracy generation, the assassinations, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, Nixon resigned after saying, so we were the start of people that don't revere lawyers or doctors just because they're lawyers or doctors. And then, and the whole system permits, like when you have the prime minister like blatantly lying and cooking the books to avoid an inquiry into information he had, how can you believe anything? Like, who cares about a real estate whether it shows the living room bigger than it really is?